Hello students, this is class 10th, subject English, chapter 7th, Glimpses of India, part 2, Coorg, and this is lecture 1. Already we have done first part of Glimpses of India, that is Baker from Goa. So today we are going to start this second part, Coorg. So let us begin. Topics to be covered today. First of all, we shall discuss introduction of the author, then chapter sketch, then introduction of the chapter, and after that overview of the chapter will be read, and at last we shall discuss homework solution of lecture 2 of part 1, A Baker from Goa. So let us begin with introduction of the author. This chapter, this part of chapter 7, second part, it is Coorg. It is written by Lokesh Abrol. Lokesh Abrol is a prolific writer, means he is a good writer, compatible writer. He is also a consultant of internal medicine and a social entrepreneur. In 1991, he established Kurgaon's first multi-speciality hospital and emergency team. He is the director of Hult Prize India. He is also the founder director of Arivindam Foundation and Aster. Abrol also established Gurukul Kalpataru for non-formal education of slum children in Indian arts, crafts, etc. He has also contributed a number of articles in Outlook Traveler, Discover India and Incredible India. Lokesh Abrol has written a lot on tourism and travelling also. Coorg is considered to be his best work. So this is all about Lokesh Abrol, the writer of Coorg. Coorg is a coffee country and it is famous for its rainforests and spices. Coorg, it is the smallest district of Karnataka and it is famous for evergreen rainforests, spices and coffee plantation. In this lesson, the narrator has given a vivid description of Coorg, a heavenly place, a beautiful place which lies between Mysore and Mangalore. Now, let us read more about Coorg. Coorg is a beautiful place. It seems like a piece of heaven that has drifted away from God's kingdom, means it is very beautiful and has settled on the earth. It is located between Mysore and Mangalore. It is an area with low hills of unequal height. The men of Coorg are brave warrior and the women of Coorg are pretty. This beautiful place has a variety of wild animals too. Coorg is also known as Kodagu. It is one of the smallest districts of Karnataka. 30% of the area of Coorg is covered with evergreen rainforests and the place receives rain for most part of the year, especially during the monsoon season. The period from September to March is the best time for visiting Coorg. The weather is pleasant here. The air is filled with the strong fragrance of coffee due to the abundant coffee plantations. It is famous for spices also. So this is all about Coorg. Now let us move ahead. Now let us read the introduction of the chapter Part 2 means Glimpses of India Part 2 Coorg. Coorg, this chapter's introduction. So the lesson Coorg gives us a beautiful insight of the smallest district of Karnataka and its people. The place has an amazing weather throughout the year with enough rain during the monsoon season. The people of Coorg are known to be one of the bravest. Coffee is the main crop grown in this region. A variety of animals can be found here, while the place is surrounded by beautiful Brahmagiri hills, islands and Tibetan settlements. So, we have read about Coorg and this chapter's introduction. Now, let us read overview of the chapter Coorg. Coorg, a heavenly place. As I have already told you that this place is very beautiful. So Coorg district of Karnataka lies between the towns of Mysore and Mangalore. It is inhabited by martial men, beautiful women and wild creatures. It lies between Mysore and the coastal town of Mangalore. And this land is abound with evergreen rainforests, spices and coffee planting. Now let us talk about the best season for visiting Coorg. So as we know that it is the smallest district of Karnataka, it consists of evergreen forest, spices and coffee plantations. The best season to visit Coorg starts in September and continues up to March. The weather in Coorg is pleasant during those months. Means on this land the season of joy begins from September and continues up to March. During the monsoon it rains heavily. That is why so many visitors keep away from this place. Now next subheading is people of Coorg. So let us read about Coorgis. The people here are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. Means the people of Coorg belonged to Greek or Arabic descent. According to a legend, means there is a story behind it. Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled there only when they were unable to return to their country. Means they could not to their native place, and a part of Alexander's army settled there only. So these people married among the locals and their culture can be witnessed by their martial traditions, marriages and religious rites. The Kodaus means residents of Coorg, people of Coorg, wear a long black coat with an embroidered waist belt known as kufiya. It resembles kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. Means there are two stories for their origin. First, that is about Alexander's army, and then this is given that the black long coat worn with waist belt is actually worn by the Kodaus. It is also known as kufiya, and it resembles kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. So that's why we can say that the people of Coorg either they belonged to Greek or Arabic descent. So these are the stories behind it. Now next, bravery tales of Coorg. Coorg people are well known for their bravery. They are very brave. The Coorg regiment is one of the most decorated regiments of the Indian Army. Means they have got many awards for their bravery. General Cariappa, the first Indian Army chief, was a Coorgi. So in the Indian Army, the Coorg regiment is very famous, and General Cariappa, the first chief of the Indian Army, was also a Coorgi. And in our country, only Kodaus are permitted to carry firearms without a license. Even today, only the Kodaus, only the Coorgis are permitted to carry firearms without a license. Now next, wildlife in Coorg. As we know that Coorg is home to a large number of wild animals and birds. Mahasir, a large freshwater fish, is found here. Kingfishers, squirrels and langurs live without any fear. Wild elephants enjoy being bathed and scrubbed in the river by their mahouts. The river Kaveri gets its water from the hills of Coorg. Means here Kaveri river flows and there are many hectic activities around the Coorg area. Here we can see mahasir, kingfishers, squirrels and langurs. Elephants also can be seen here. Coorg, a tourist place. So even the laziest tourists become adventurous on coming to Coorg, as it is full of adventure sports like river rafting, canoeing, rock climbing, etc. The climb to Brahmagiri hills brings smiles to many faces, as one can see the panoramic, the wide view of Coorg from there. River rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing and mountain biking are the main activities of the Coorg area, and the Brahmagiri hills gives a wide view of landscape of Coorg. And there is also a rope bridge that leads to the island of Nisargdhama. Near Balkupe, the monks in red and yellow robes give more surprise to the visitors. Surprises at Coorg, as I have already told, India's largest Tibetan settlement at Balkupe is inhabited by monks in red ochre and yellow robes. There are many more surprises waiting at Coorg for the tourists to discover. So this place is full of surprises. This place is very beautiful. Here we can see the largest Tibetan settlement at Balkupe, and already, as I have told, that there is also a rope bridge that leads to the island of Nisargdhama. How to reach Coorg? This is the last subheading. So we can reach Coorg by roads and by rail. If one prefers to go by air, then the nearest airports are Bangalore and Mangalore. By road, it is around 250 to 260 km from Bangalore. So the distance between Coorg and Bangalore is around 250 to 260 km, and there are two routes to Coorg from Bangalore, and both are of the same distance. So we can get there by rail, air and road. So this was the overview of the chapter Coorg. I hope you all have understood. Now let us discuss your homework. Homework is to read this chapter Coorg from your first flight book and find out the answers of the following questions. First question is, where is Coorg? You have to write the location of the Coorg. Then second question, it is, what is the story about the Kudau people's descent? I think there are two stories, so you have to write. Then third question is, what are some of the things you know about? So there are these parts of this question. What do you know about the people of Coorg? The main crop of Coorg you have to write. Then what do you know about the sports it offers to tourists? And what do you know about the animals you are likely to see in Coorg? And last part is its distance from Bangalore and how to get there. Last question is, describe any two tourist places of Coorg. This we have done. So you all are supposed to read the chapter thoroughly and find out the answers of these questions and send me the snapshots of your homework at my email ID. I hope you have understood what to do. Now let us discuss homework solution of lecture 2 of A Baker from Goa. So this is class 10th, subject English, chapter 7th, that is going on nowadays. It is Glimpses of India, and this is homework solution of part 1, A Baker from Goa. So let us discuss the question answers. So first passage that was given in homework was, our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. The third and jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. So some questions were given to you. To find the answers, let us discuss those questions. First question was, what are the elders nostalgic about? Nostalgic means longing for the past. Means what did they think about the past? So the elders are nostalgic about the good old Portuguese days and their famous loaves of bread. Next question. How can you say that bread making is still popular in Goa? So the answer is, bread making is still popular in Goa because the bread makers are still there, and so are their mixers, molders and furnaces. Next question. What are the mixers, the molders used for? So the mixers are used to prepare the dough for the bread, and molders are used to give different shapes to the bread. Next question, it was, which word in the passage means the same as cook? So the answer is bake. Bake word is used for the same word cook. Next question, why do the elders think about their past? They miss the good old days and they also miss the loaves of bread. Next question is, mention two different tasks done by the bakers. So the baker mix the dough and next mold it and bake the loaves. Means these are the tasks: baking, molding and mixing. Next question is, find the word from the passage which means the same as remembering. So the answer is reminiscing. Next question, how is the family profession still carried? So the answer is, the son carries the family profession. Now let us discuss next question. Next passage was given. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke and the loaves would be delivered to the servant, but we would not give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and peep into the basket. Somehow I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. So the first question is, who are we in this extract? So we in the extract refers to the narrator and his friends. Then next question, why were the children pushed aside? The kids were pushed aside so that the breads can be delivered to the servants. So they were pushed aside with a mild rebuke, with a mild scolding, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. Next question, which word or phrase in the extract means the same as an expression of disapproval or a scolding? So the answer is, the word rebuke from the extract means an expression of disapproval or a scolding. Means the word rebuke is used for this phrase. Next, what was there in the basket? There were some loaves for the elders and some bangles for the children. So these bangles are bread bangles, means breads in the shape of bangles. Children liked those bread bangles. So do your homework and send me the snapshots of homework on my email ID, and I hope you have understood what have been taught to you. If you like our videos, please press like button and subscribe our channel. Thank you.